Not
Cap,
yet.
oh my, dude, fuck this.
Bro. The
Freaking,
count.
it went to zero, dude.
Yeah, but that's not how it goes. It goes like this.
You gotta be shitting me.
It goes. It goes like this.
Oh my god. And they're gonna be like, "Why is your eyes so red?" Because
Like
we're back to the 2025 shenanigans.
Carson.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Caps and Conversations, guys. So we are kicking off season 2 with the topic "Your Old Self Has to Die." My name is Carson Steffens. I am your high-tech affiliate marketer.
My name is Bob G, and I'm your web design strategist. If you ever need to place yourself on a platform digitally, be sure to visit www.becoolwithbob.com and put your info in, and we'll get started on a free consultation.
And I'm Lamont Brathwaite, and he just stole my intro. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a whole new intro. You know what? Just hold on. Let me think about this. Let me put this. Lamont Brathwaite, your marketing specialist. If you ever need metrics in your business, then don't go to Bob. Come to me. This way, you know your stats are really legit and you will
That's
grow.
messed up.
Have a
That's
nice
messed up.
day. Hey man,
I
this
didn't even cut
it's
your legs like that. You cut the
so,
legs from underneath me. That's messed up.
yeah. Well, you shouldn't have went first. But you know, it's as well. I'm happy to see you guys again here in season 2 and a brand new year and a brand new. Well, you know, I'm not going to say new year, new me because, you know, new year, new me. But I'm coming with the same old shenanigans. So, you know, today's topic is very near and dear to my heart because I have come to realize that the old me must die. Let me explain for a second before I let you guys go at it. Um, we spent, whether it's the last 6 months, last 8 months, last year, or last 2 years, you know, we all have goals. We all said, okay, we want to make, uh, you know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month for 6 figures in a year. Well, at the end of the year, did you make that? If not, are you still doing the same things to make that minimal income, not reaching your goals? Well, 2025, let's start fresh. And the only way you can start fresh is kill the old you that put yourself in that predicament because the old you didn't do enough, because the old you didn't follow through on some plans, because the old you was in a stagnant place, or you know, you had this to blame, that to blame, life came in the way. Kill that. That's what we mean by killing your old self. It's killing your old habits. Now it's time, it's 2025, it's time for you to make some new habits. Because if you want to attain your goals or even in some way reach your goals, you're going to have to do more than what you did last year or the last 6 months or the last 2 weeks, even. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, which is insanity, you're going to get the same results. And that's my opening statement for today. Your Honor, you're on.
I think he's talking about you, Your Honor, Steffens.
Oh yes, well yeah, because he's Lord Umberto. But guys, yeah, Lamont. I mean, Lamont hit it right on the head. Seriously, make like killing your own, like killing your old self is so crucial, so essential, and I think a lot of people maybe don't aren't familiar with that term, and or they think, well, what does that mean, killing my old self? And whether you would skip the gym for a week or months or years, or you would stay up late watching Netflix, or you would go out to party with your friends every single weekend, or whatever it was, or you would just work to make ends meet, whatever, or you just remain content. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get this stuff done, and
Mhm.
this and this and this and this. You made a list every single day, and you only got one or two things done out of five, six, seven, or 10. And what that means is being able to set apart every distraction, every potential excuse to really set your focus on this opportunity in life that you have. You only live once. You only have one chance at life. And I think a lot of, and I'm with Lamont on this one. I don't do the whole new year, new me thing because honestly, I think it's a bunch of BS. Because I mean, if you're waiting that whole year to change your persona, to change your perspective on life, you're wasting time. You're wasting precious, valuable time. And but and I like to always say goals will always be goals until action and implementation takes place and remains that way. Because a lot of people will have goals, they'll have aspirations, they'll have dreams, but it will stay that way until you take that first step of action implementation. So that's what I have to say on the as my opening statement, and I'll let Bob finish the opening statements, and then we'll get into our discussion.
Well, I don't know. Like the old you has to die, right? Maybe not necessarily the old you, like in every aspect, but they're like be real with yourself. Like go look in the mirror. There's certain aspects that need to be left in 2024 in order for you to continue being in 2025 and further on. Um, One of the things that I've seen a lot over throughout the course of Facebook and Instagram and basically advice that you get from those that you look up to and admire is reading books. It's like the earliest form of recording information and just sharing the knowledge that's there, especially books that are influential and have a lot of things to teach someone. There are actually a few books that I hold near and dear to my heart that have propelled me and helped me become more organized. One of the things that I definitely wasn't at the beginning of everything was organized, and it showed a lot through my professional career, and it kind of carried over a little bit when I wanted to become an entrepreneur and learn more about the space that I'm in. But the books gave me a lot of structure, you know, what to do, what not to do, and how to go on about that. So if there's anything that you should leave behind in 2024, if you haven't at least read one book in a month, do yourself a favor, pick up a book, a good book, from a good author, that especially if you're in this space, to get structured into your entrepreneurial field and journey. Do it, because it's going to help you out a lot.
Well, I'm a jump in on that because here's a productivity hack. As far as reading books and stuff like that. I've never been like cover to cover reader, but I will take some summarize versions of it, only because I want to get in it, get the basics of it, and move on. Now, other people are a lot different, but here's a productivity hack for you. If you have a phone or any cellular capabilities, download the Headway app. The Headway app, I'm not even going to put my affiliate link out there, which I am affiliate of, but grab the Headway app because one thing I've learned, I've went through 145 books in a year, and for me, that was phenomenal because I never read that much when I was in school. And that was over 25, 30 years ago. But the Headway app, what it does is it gets your favorite book and it summarizes the book for you in bite-sized chunks so you can actually understand the book. Now, if you want to go ahead and get the book after you summarize it, yeah, do that. But it's going to give you the summary points of what that book is about, what's the point of the book, and how you can utilize the book. So the Headway app. Now, productivity hack number two. I know you might be aware of Masterclass, and if you never heard of it, go look it up because um, the leaders in some of these industries, they giving you the game for free. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, I'm not an affiliate of that. I am, but you don't see my affiliate link on the screen. I'm not going to put it on the screen because that's a productivity hack everybody can use. You know, me as a metric specialist, I dove into the metric aspects of how to build a business from start to finish. Because the metrics will point to you and tell you what you need and where you need to go. Um, but the thing about it is, in this masterclass, it's not just low level people speaking. There's people that has made it in the industry. There's this is people that made over 100 million or 10 million plus, and they have this on a regular basis because they followed a simple format. Why can't we? And they giving us the game. Masterclass, Headway app, productivity hacks. Get it, use it, and you'll be better off.
Yeah, I mean, Lamont, that's totally valid, and I thank you so much for sharing that. Because I think being able to have those free resources, because I think a lot of times people are charging for it, and people might have not have the funds. But I mean, being
Yeah,
having those free resources is very, very vital to anybody, a beginner or a novice, or even a seasoned entrepreneur.
yeah,
Because I mean, we can always like we always preach, we can always learn, we can always grow, and I think what people need to realize walking into this new life that they're creating is that transformation is going to be an ongoing process. It's
yeah,
going to be something you're going to have bumps, you're going to have highs, you're going to have valleys, you're going to have mountain hills and valleys, ups and downs, and it's going to be about. I think this next chapter in people's lives should be resiliency. And I know we discussed this in a previous episode last season, but really walking into it and accepting nothing less. Because I mean, the term I saw when I was doing when I was studying this was like you're walking towards self mastery. But it's not like you're checking it off, but your every little milestone is something to celebrate, something to be happy about. Celebrating little wins, because I think everyone wants to hit that home run in the beginning or that grand slam, and they're like, okay, so if I had a single, I fail. If I had a double, I fail. That's the old me. Or and but what it comes down to, guys, is that you have so much power, so much potential, and you hold yourself back. No one else holds you back. It's not physical, it's mental, metaphorical holding back. And you really have to squash limiting beliefs. Try something new. This new era, this new phase in your life, look at it as chapter 1, because you're restarting the whole process over again. And step out and do things that you're not used to doing. Go to the gym 6 days a week, 7 days a week. No days off. Try a no days off week.
Mhm.
How's that gonna feel? You're gonna dread it probably, but then afterwards you're gonna be like, I'm a freaking badass,
yeah,
and that's for anything. You know, don't watch movies for a week. Don't drink alcohol for a week. Don't smoke if you do that. Do th- don't do things you used to do. Don't do things your old self did. Try it for a week. Do a week trial
Hmm.
and then see how free you feel, how you can be independent, because you're dependent on those things to make you happy, to make you feel safe. We're not living in this world to feel safe. We're supposed to be adventurous. We're supposed to branch out and become something, not be held to our own chains and our own bondage.
Lord Brathwaite, yes, the spotlight is on you.
I mean, just to trickle down off what he just said, you know, we're here for a reason, and that's to create. No matter what you create something. It pushes the society along, it pushes humanity along. But create, we the most thing that the most blinding thing in my mind is that there's somebody that's probably doing better than us or has something better than us, and they're scared to put it out. They scared to put it out. And the thing about it is this is why we have these talks. Um, this is why we have these conversations, because there will be one or two people in the audience, whether they get to hear this today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Contentless forever, by the way. So there might be somebody down the pipeline, maybe 2 years from now, that hears this and be like, you know what? I'm having the same problem. And I'm glad to see somebody else is having the same problem. And now they can see, okay, well, what did I do about it? What did they do about it? Maybe I can follow their footsteps. You never know. You might be the hero in somebody's life 1, 2, 3 years down the line for something you did today, And this is what I tell some of my guests when they come on here, thank you for coming to tell your story, because there's somebody sitting out there that was in your position of, not knowing what the next step is, or they might have been afraid to do this, or they said I can't do this because they had a limiting belief of maybe I can do this, but I don't know if I should try. And then you let 3 years go by, and then next thing you know, whatever you was thinking about is obsolete now.
Yep.
Times are changing. Times are changing. It's just like, let's think about it like we already talked about this before in the earlier podcast. Let's talk about the digital phones. The digital phones. Let's talk about cell phones. When cell phones first came out, remember they was big as hell. Okay, remember
The
the
brick.
cell phones used to look
Yeah.
like this.
Yep.
Hello, yeah, but it was cool to have because nobody had a cell phone and it had a cord like a mile long and an antenna that was even longer. Okay, now they have cell phones this size. They have cell phones this size. And then probably next year, you know, you say, okay, I got a good idea about a phone and, I want to make a phone like this. But just think about it like this: 2 years from now, the phone's going to be this big and you're going to be able to take it out and put it on your damn tongue. And this phone is going to be obsolete.
Yeah. What is it they have
So,
now? They have the Ray Bans. The Ray Bans that
uh,
are like the
oh, those
all
those
right.
been out. They just
Yeah, I
those been
know.
out for a
Like
while.
they had a Google Lens. No, that wasn't called Google Lens. It was called Google something. They had their
It's Google
own like
Glass.
Google Glass, right? And it
Yeah,
didn't work out for whatever reason. I know it got banned like in a bunch of different places. And then
yeah,
now Ray-Ban has their stuff and it's like, taking over the market. It's
yeah,
crazy. I'm sure you can
yeah.
say
So
like Ray-Ban, call Carson, Ray-Ban,
yeah,
call Lamont, and it'll do it
yeah.
for you. You wear it on your face. It's
Like
fantastic.
Siri don't even answer me sometimes. I be talking to Siri, like, Siri, set an alarm, and it just be spinning and be like, I don't understand you. It's like, am I not speaking English to you or what? But
I got some
Like,
smack. I got some smack to talk about Alexa because that lady doesn't know anything. She's like AI 0.003. She don't know nothing. Like, hey Alexa, what's the temperature outside? Yes, you should wear a blanket tonight when you go to sleep. It'll help you dream better. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
hypnotizing effect.
I
But
wanted
but
to
the
I wanted to get on this for a second.
oh
This
yeah,
right
yeah.
here, when I started this I read this first. This was my one of the first books that I read when I started this whole entrepreneur. And this thing is like Lamont said, there's no affiliate links or anything like that. But this thing is just jam packed, full of things that everybody should know,
Yeah,
even if you're not
yeah,
gonna get into the entrepreneurial spaces. It's a mindset shift that everybody should be aware of because I know that there are tons of people out there that have no clue as to what's going on when it comes to how people make money, what money means.
yeah,
It's an amazing book. You know that this book has been around forever,
yeah,
and it wasn't
yeah,
until recently, like in the last few years, that it actually took off and blew up on the shelves. And
yeah.
this
I
is why
mean,
like
but
making like evergreen content is so important, for those listening, because like you never know when your stuff is actually gonna blow up and then start making you money without you even realizing it.
I mean that what you hold in your hand, that's proof that content lives forever because that book has to be about 20 years old right now. You know,
Yeah, twenty
I
five
mean
years old.
yeah, but the copyright date on it is probably not going to match up because they keep coming out with new editions and new editions of
Oh
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing. But the
yeah,
original copy was probably dated back 20 years ago, and like its content lives forever. So be mindful of what you're putting out, and don't be scared to put out what you need to put out. Because, like I said, some of the things that we're doing now is going to be obsolete 2 to 3 years from now. We're in a ever fast paced growing kind of community here. And what works now might not work next week, might not work a month from now, might not work a year from now. So if you have some good ideas, you got some good intentions, put them out and don't be scared of what other people want to say or what other people's going to think, because that idea that you have or that process that you have that you need to put out might be the one that take you beyond where you need to be. So
yeah.
stop being
yeah.
scared.
I
Tell
mean,
your old self, leave that old self. I'm gonna walk you back about 8 days, 9 days now. Hold on, let me see. 9 days. I'm
it
gonna
is.
walk you back to
9 days.
2024 at 11:59, and I'm gonna get you to drop off that bag, and I'm gonna need you to step in with the good foot because if you don't, then 2025 is going to be a repeat of 2024, and you don't want that.
Yeah. You're gonna say,
Yeah, because
So
I
Carson?
think like a lot of people are scared to like put themselves out there, because they're fearful of being judged. It's 2025, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, like, I think what it comes down to is people are scared to be themselves. You know,
yeah,
I mean, do you guys feel that, or am I just spitting
no,
stupid
no,
stuff?
No.
I see it
Everybody
all the
has that
time.
fear of like how other
And I
people are gonna
mean,
look at them. Everybody has that fear.
yeah, and I'm
Not
and
me,
I'm just
not me,
it's
not me.
really, of course not. Why?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, of course not.
No, we're
Um,
we're we're
Perfect.
we're working with perfection right here,
But
ladies and
I,
gentlemen. We're working with
Your
perfection.
Highness, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
hey, you
But
know
I
what? If
mean,
you can take anything from anybody, take it from DJ Khaled. We the best. If you keep telling yourself that, you're gonna be the best at something. I don't know what it is, but you're gonna be the best at something. Just look in the mirror, smile at yourself, and say, today is gonna be a good day. I'm the best at whatever I'm the best at. It doesn't matter where he, she, Bob, Harry, Sue, Sally, Carson, whatever is good at, I know I'm good at something. And that's just the way of the world. And if you walk your path, if you walk your steps like you're supposed to, one foot in front of the other, you become unstoppable. There's nobody can tell you what you can or cannot do. Only you. There's no competition with anybody. There's you versus you. Who's going to win?
mhm.
I hope the better version of yourself wins. And the better version of yourself needs to be in 2025, not in 2024.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and the word that starts coming to my mind or keeps going to my mind is regret. Not saying I have any regrets in life, but I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, I wish I did this. I wish I would have done this sooner." And I'm like, you can't think like that because it wasn't the right timing. It wasn't the right opportunity. It wasn't the right moment. I mean, like, for example, we wanted to do this podcast 6 months ago, but it took Bob reaching out to me randomly and saying, "Hey, we're doing that podcast." Oh, shoot, yeah, let's do it. And so don't have regrets about not starting something sooner because I mean, I think we discussed this with when we had our special guest Tracy on. Age is just a number. So whether you start at age 18, age 19, or age 65, there's still you can still make some you can still have momentum, you can still create momentum, maintain that momentum, and show others do the exact same thing. I like to think if if one person's winning, we're all winning. And we want that mentality to remain true in 2025 and beyond. So if we're not all winning, we're all losing. If one person's winning, we're all losing. And I want you
Hey,
guys to do you
go ahead.
want to say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really wanted to bring something up before time bites us in the butt. Um, and it's about you know, like the space, right? The space is full of content creators. Everybody's always like quick and crazy to like have something fantastical and to go viral and whatever. At the same time, I see a lot of people who get stuck, right? Because they're on that search of how many, likes and loves or hearts or comments and whatever people stuff get. Does anybody realize like how it works in order for you to get, monetized? Like how YouTube is going to say, okay, we're going to cut you a check, or when Facebook says, I'm going to cut you a check, or Instagram or whoever. Does anybody know? I'm curious. Like seriously, I'm curious. Does
Well, I
anybody
mean,
know?
one is you get paid for keeping people on their platform. Period. So let's just say you got one piece of content that goes viral. Let's say I'm gonna give you two scenarios. You got 5,000 likes a piece, but on this hand, you got 5,000 likes with a watch time of 75% ratio that watch from zero to finish. You're gonna get monetized here. On this side, you got 5,000 likes, but it was just people scrolling by. It's like, psh, 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 and you have the 0 to, let's say, 20% of watch time. You know, you get paid for keeping people on Facebook. You get paid for keeping people on TikTok. You get paid for keeping people on YouTube. Other than that, if your content is not good, all you're going to get is a scroll. You don't get no scroll stoppers. You get a scroll, like keep moving, like keep moving. So that's I witnessed that in all three aspects: Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. People will scroll by, but unless it's something interesting, something to stop the scroll, something to keep them there from start to finish, then you'll see the spike in the algorithm. You'll see the spike in your monetization, and then you'll see people coming out the woodworks. Okay, you got 30,000 views, and you got let's say uh, out of those 30,000 views, you got 25,000 likes. Now you got people coming out the woodworks saying, okay, I want to work with you. What do you got to offer? I want to work with you, Carson. What do you got to offer? But the more you keep that content steady in a good rate and the watch time is up, you'll get monetized. Other than that,
You know
you
what?
don't get monetized for likes.
You know what a piece of content was that had me hooked to my phone? It was so stupid.
What's that? Pure?
It was an archer, something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the punt never
Yeah.
came. It was an archer there, like getting ready, and you see like the balloons that he's supposed to shoot through, and he's getting
Yeah,
ready,
and it
and he's
never
getting ready,
happens.
and
And
it
it never
never happened.
happens.
It never
I'm
happened
so
from start
pissed
to
at those
finish.
clickbaits. That's what you get. The finger.
uh,
The pinky finger.
that was the best from start to finish.
Yeah,
But
but
I heard it was
and
like
some
something
of
like you have
them
to have like a million
on
likes or
YouTube,
views, yeah, in order for you to get like $1,000.
yeah, that's about right. But
That's
you got to
crazy.
think, okay,
That's
you got to think
crazy.
about like Mr. Beast got 50,000 subscribers, 50 million subscribers, 200 million subscribers. However, he's close to a billion. Put it like that.
Yeah.
Let's just say if he was to run a GoFundMe right now and just say, okay, I'm trying to make sure I can match SpaceX. If every one of my subscribers can give me $1 million, he'll be like $300 billion richer tomorrow. You know, let me ask my subscribers for $1. What you need that dollar for?
Yeah.
What you ever do? What you ever do for me? Why you can't give me $1? I'm like, man, bro, I'm trying to build something, but there's some people that would choose to help you, and some people that won't help you. Now, I've come to find out uh, a complete stranger will help me quicker than a close family member or a close friend. You know, if I was to go out online and say, okay, I'm willing to step out and say, okay, I want to start this, and I need funding, but I can't get general funding from, let's say, a bank or a lender or something like that. So I'm gonna go it alone. So I'm gonna go a GoFundMe, and I'm gonna put up an article, and I'm gonna let you know that I wanted to start my own version of EVs, whether it comes in the form of a motorcycle or a bike or blah blah blah. But I believe in what I'm doing, and I want my followers to believe in what I'm doing. And if I was to ask my followers right now, out of the, let's say, collectively, out of the 10,000 people that I do have, how much money do you think I would generate if I asked everybody for $1?
I'd give you $1.
Realistically,
You give me a
I'll
dollar?
give you two. I'll give you $2.
The GoFundMe is coming soon.
I'll give you.
GoFundMe is gonna bite those $2 so hard.
Yeah,
They're gonna get their
actually,
piece.
yeah. After taxes, they probably get half. But the moral of the story is, guys, you can't be afraid to put out what you need to put out. I mean, I know in the beginning it's kind of rough, and um, you might have seemed like 2024 was rough. Well, it's just going to get rougher. And what I mean by that, it's only going to get rougher because you're going to have more competition. You're going to have more people coming out, trying to knock you off your block instead of somebody just coming in and say, okay, uh, I'm coming in to dominate, and he's neck and neck with you, but you've been at it for a year and a half or 2 years and you ain't moved. And if you ain't moved, it's your own fault. I hate to tell
Yeah.
you this, I'm not going to put the blame on everybody else or any other thing or any other program you went out there. It's your fault because, now is the time for you to, put 10 toes in the ground and start one thing, not a million things, one thing. So, what we're going to do here today, we're going to dispel all those myths, all those rumors about I can't do this, I can't do that. You can start one thing. So, if your goal is just one thing per week, do that, get it done, and you won't have no problems. I promise you. But if as soon as you say, okay, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, the people that's making 10,000 over here, 5,000 over here, you open up your Facebook, people got success stories. I made $900 overnight while I was at Burger King or $900 making breakfast this morning, and you wonder how they do it. Well, they not doing what you're doing. I can guarantee you that. What you need to be doing is focusing on your personal development, your growth. Period. Like I made a post earlier this week. Growth, you can't really be ready for that because it's something new. You can experience it, but you can't be ready for it because you don't know what growth is until it happens. So my ending rant for today would be do something. I'm wait a minute, let me get my see if I can get this right so I can scare a couple of people. My 50 cent face. Do something. Do something. And when I say that, I only want to motivate you in a way that's positive because there's a lot of people that take this for granted and say, okay, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. So me in the aspect that I'm in right now, I will come up with an idea and I will hop out of bed and get on it. Many of you might not have that kind of tenacity, but me growing up in the industry over 10 years deep, I've known if I got an idea, I need to get on it because if I don't, I'm going to forget about it or I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Yep.
never comes.
Yep.
So that's what I'm gonna leave you with today. Kill your own self. Not no. This is not a message for
Whoa.
suicide and nothing like
Whoa.
that.
Let's back that up a little bit.
let me
That
back
was
up a little
harsh.
bit. Let me walk back a
Yeah.
little bit. Maybe I came in a little bit too rough.
Yeah. Kill your
But
old self.
no,
Kill your old
I'm gonna go you
self.
one better. I'm gonna go with one better.
Okay.
Kill your
Okay.
old ideology of what didn't work or what you didn't get to. Today is a new day. It's a new year. It's a new dawn. Get on your game, your A game, that is. Because if anything, it's worse than playing on a team and you sitting on a bench for the next 5 years. I mean, you're getting paid, but you ain't getting paid. The players play
Sip, 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 sip. Sip, sip,
the
sip, sip, sip.
players payment. You're one step away from millions, but you're sitting there making only what 30,000, and half of that's going to tax. So that's my that's my rant for the day. If I can tell you anything else, always hit me up on Facebook. You know where I'm at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, and for my closing remarks, it's every day is a new day. Every day is a new you. And what I want to leave you with, guys, is there's always room for improvement, but there's never more time. And I know that sounds weird or maybe confusing right now at the moment, but you have to be the one to create more time. Because I mean, we all have 24 hours in a day. I know you've heard this example over and over, but it's how you utilize it, not how you spend it. Because if you're looking to spend something, spend your money. It's a lot of people spend their money, they spend their time on frivolous things, but they're not utilizing it to get ahead, not using their time. It's waking up an hour earlier, doing affirmations, or reading a book, or read chapters in a book, or staying up an hour later and reading that same book, or writing down the goals for the next day. So use that keyword utilize your time effectively because, like Lamont said, tomorrow is not guaranteed, the next second is not guaranteed. You could literally fall over. I'm not saying I want you to, obviously, but by all means, but really, guys, utilize the time you have on this earth. Utilize the time that you and stop looking in the mirror and saying, I want better. Just do better. That's what I want to leave you guys with today.
Well, I guess it's my turn now, and I'm here to set the fire in your butt. Um, Look, this is what it comes down to, and it isn't really hard. Analyze what 2024 was all about for you. Like, analyze it, think about it, see where
Metrics.
it got you. Exactly, that is metrics. See where it got you, see where it didn't get you, see what needs to be dropped off. I knew somebody who bought into like a ton of different programs, and he is nowhere today. Like, hasn't made one penny out of any of it. And I tried, counseling him and telling him, look, man, you gotta like just stop spending your money like that. The money that that you did invest into these things, find where you can use it, because he's got a ton of great programs, a ton of great programs. But unfortunately, he backed away from the whole online scene. A lot of things in his life is like upside down right now. But just remember that there's community out there to support and talk to and help you out with everything. Because if anything, Captain Conversations is definitely here for all of you. Um, take the recommendation. Get Rich Dad Poor Dad. Understand it, read it. It's a great tool. It's a lot of great information there. And one of the things that I do want to ask the audience members, Luke, what's up, man? Gary, like we've got season 2 coming up right now where we're on it. What kind of topics do you guys want to talk about or hear us talk about? Drop it in the comments. Let us know what you want. That way we can deliver for you. Until next time, Saturday we have a special guest coming on. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. Um, Lamont, you want to talk a little bit more about Patrick?
Yeah, his name is Patrick Ingham, and I met him some years ago in the SaaS industry, sales as a service. And he was one of the guys that, you know, I kind of followed in his footsteps without even knowing him before I actually met him. Because some of the things he's been through, I've been through the same. We actually worked for the same remote company, um, and we had similar results. So he's actually one of the best when it comes to developing softwares and actually teaching people how to do copywriting, and that's how I came onto the scene with copywriting. So um, it's going to be a breeze to talk to him. Now he is from Nigeria, and he does have an accent, but that's not to be dispelled from what you see online, because there's a difference of talking to an actual person about how they came up in that situation and from that country, where we see a lot of this online and say, okay, he's from Africa, I don't trust him, and blah blah blah. Well, I'm here to show you that there's two sides to the coin. So we are diversifying, because we have many people that will come on this show from all walks of life, and everybody has a different story, and I'm sure he's going to bring you his. So with
For
that
sure.
being said, keep your caps on. Well, if you got some coffee or some tea, drink some tea, and we'll be sure to reconvene here on Saturday at 10 a.m. So y'all have
Take
a
it
good
easy,
day.
guys.
See you guys.
Peace out. Take care.